Hey y'all, so before I get this video started, let me give a quick shout out. These were the first 3 comments in my last video. If you want to be featured in my next video, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell and come show me some love when I drop a new video. Hey y'all, so as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be budgeting my February YouTube paycheck. If you guys did not know, we get paid in arrears, so our February checks are based on our January numbers. So here are my January numbers for my YouTube channel. I got a total number of views of 24,840. My total watch time minutes was 186,693. And then my total estimated revenue, which is actually what did hit my account on the 21st of this month, was $295.28. So if you guys are new to my channel, I use a specific budgeting method called the income allocation method. And by now you should have saw something pop up on your screen to show you how to learn more about that. So basically with my method, I do not start allocating money towards savings or extra debt payments if I were still in debt. I'm not in debt anymore, but I don't start doing that until I've earned enough money to cover my regular everyday expenses like rent, utilities, all of that stuff, which I do not have rent currently. But as you guys can see, I've already started to allocate money towards savings with my first paycheck from my PRN job, which means that all of my income until the end of this budget will start to be allocated. So this particular month, 65% of my income is going to stay in my checking account, and then 35% is going to go into savings. So I'm going to grab a separate sheet of paper, because the first thing that I do with my YouTube check is I go ahead and I take out taxes before I start to allocate, because I don't like to allocate based off of money that I shouldn't really be seeing. If you think about your regular job, you don't budget based off of your gross income, you budget based off your net income, what actually hits your account. Well, with YouTube paychecks and any other thing that's like self-employment, of course taxes are not taken out, so I take that into account first. So $295.28 was the total income that we had, and it's probably gonna be an ad that pops up, always does. Okay, so $295.28, and I do 20% for my taxes, so that means I'm gonna subtract $59.05 for taxes. So that's going to leave me with $236.23. This is the amount here that I'm going to go ahead and split off into 65-35, because this is the amount of money that essentially, if I had a job, would have hit my account. I wouldn't have even seen the $59.05. So let's go ahead and split this off. We got 65% staying in checking, 35% going to savings. All right. So the 65% that's staying in my checking, this is the amount of money that is basically just staying there for the purposes of having money for like gas, groceries, all of that kind of stuff, because I've already kept enough money in my account for my regular fixed expenses. So I'm actually going to round this down to 53, because when it comes to my savings, I'm not someone who just takes that total amount and sends it. I do break that amount down, because I have several accounts that I like to send my money to as far as savings go. So $236.23 minus the $153.53, and I round it down so that this number over here is going to be an even number, again because I am splitting this off into various ways. So what I like to do is I like to send 50% to my miscellaneous / investment sinking fund, 25% is going to go to my car, and then another 25% is going to go to my travel sinking fund. So I'm going to go ahead and write these in, and then we're going to go back to the actual like budget breakdown to actually write these numbers in and see how much money is left over out of this check after I send money to these different places. Okay, So checking, I'm going to write the 153.53. But for savings, I'm not going to write the 82.70. That was the 35%. Why? Because also 59.05 went to savings as far as my taxes go. So 59.05 plus 82.70 is going to give me a total of 141.75 that's going to go to savings. And I know that my math is correct because if I also add back in what I sent off to the checking account, that gives me the total amount of my paycheck. So I'm going to go ahead and write the 141.75 here. Now, let's get back to the breakdown. So out of my YouTube paycheck, I do not do what I do on my regular paychecks where I break down the fixed expenses and variable expenses and all of that, because I don't pay my bills with that. I don't know how to really explain it, but just know that I only send money to savings. Whatever's left over in excess, I just keep it in my checking account. But I don't allot specific bills to come out of this money, if that makes sense. The only time you'll see that is if like my paycheck from my regular job is the same day as my YouTube paycheck. That's a little bit different, but it's not this time. Okay, so let's go ahead and write in savings. We're going to write in date sent, and then amount, and then plus minus. And I always do my savings in purple. So again, we're going to start off with the tax sinking fund. And all of this I sent off last night, actually, because today, as of me recording the video, is my payday for my job. So let's see. And honestly, I totally forgot about the money coming in because I don't know. I don't pay attention anymore. I thought I was going to hate budgeting bi-weekly, like at how I get paid, because I used to budget weekly, but I actually like it a lot more. It does cause me to neglect like writing down stuff out of my accounts until the night before my payday, but that's okay. Okay, so remember 50% of this allocation right here is going to go to the miscellaneous / investment sinking fund. So if I do 50%, that's going to give me 41.35. I'm going to round that up to 41.36 so that there's an even number left off here to be able to split in half. Speaking of, this account is almost at 10,000, as well as my true emergency fund, I think. But of course, this one will hit faster because I'm not contributing to my true emergency fund anymore. Whatever the amount goes up by, it's just because of interest. So if I do the 82.70, I subtract the 41.36 that we sent off here. That's going to leave me with 41.34, and I'm just going to split those in half, or split that in half between these two accounts. 20.67. And then we have the travel sinking fund, which I don't have any trips coming up soon that I know of. Then we're going to do 20.67. All right, so now let's total that out, which our total should be the 141.75 that we wrote on that weekly allocations page, but let's just make sure. So 59.05. I'm somebody who likes to like double and triple check math, because I hate having to come back later and saying, oh yeah, just so y'all know, I had to change this. 141.75. So the total remaining that I have out of this check, 295.28 minus 141.75, I have 153.53. And if you guys remember, that's what I wrote down on that other page over there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write add in to checking balance of paycheck 1 reconciliation. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on camera. So I'm going to come down here. So what I mean by that is that because you guys can see my first paycheck, my first bi-weekly paycheck for this month, that cycle doesn't end until February 25th, which means that this paycheck on February 21st kind of falls into this time frame. So when I'm reconciling my accounts, my checking accounts, my credit card accounts and stuff like that, because I do pay all of my variable expenses with my credit card accounts, I had to take into account the fact that some money that is in my accounts here has to do with my YouTube paycheck and not this income right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a green pen and I'm going to write YouTube pay. And I'm just going to add that remaining $153.53 balance. And this is the projected side. So that's going to leave me with an ending balance of $41.4105. And we are good there. So yeah, so I saved 35%. Actually, it's a little bit more than 35%. 141.75 divided by 295. So I saved 48% of this paycheck as far as going to taxes and these various accounts, and that is that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to leave them down below. Please thumbs up this video, subscribe if you haven't already, but other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.